Welcome to this explainer. I am honestly absolutely thrilled you're here because today we're going to uncover a fundamental rule of the universe that is literally hiding right in plain sight. Thermodynamics is this incredible field of physics that governs absolutely everything around us. It dictates how your car's engine converts fuel into motion, it explains the crazy atmospheric patterns that create our weather, and it even maps out the birth, life, and death of stars across the whole cosmos. It's basically the ultimate rulebook for how energy operates. So for all of you focused learners out there who just love grasping the hidden mechanics of reality, this is going to be incredibly satisfying. We're looking specifically at the Zeroth Law of Thermodynamics, which reveals the hidden logic of temperature. It's one of those super elegant concepts that makes perfect, crystal clear sense once you see the beautiful structure behind it. So let's jump right in.
So think about this for a second. How does a thermometer actually tell you your body temperature without, physically being a part of your body? We do this all the time, right? You feel a little sick, you place a little device under your tongue, and suddenly you completely trust it to know exactly how hot your internal biological systems are running. But there is a massive, totally invisible logic gap right there in that everyday action. How does that isolated piece of glass physically know your exact core temperature? It's not connected to your nervous system. It doesn't instantly absorb all your body's heat. The answer actually lies in a rule of physics that is so incredibly core to our reality, it literally had to be retroactively inserted into the scientific rulebook well after the other major physical laws were already established.
Which honestly brings us to a really quirky naming convention. We're talking about a law so fundamental it had to be added after the others were already named. By the early 20th century, scientists had already firmly established the first, second, and third laws of thermodynamics. They were published, set in stone, taught in universities all over the world. But eventually, the scientific community had this collective uh-oh moment. They realized they had completely glossed over the most basic, foundational assumption making all those other laws work in the first place. Without this underlying rule, the entire mathematical framework of the other three laws could just collapse. It was that foundational. But instead of renaming the whole shebang and causing mass confusion in all the textbooks, British physicist Ralph H. Fowler suggested in the 1930s that they just slot it in at the very beginning, at position 0. And hence, we get the brilliantly named Zeroth Law.
Okay, let's dive into this. The formal definition states that if two systems are each in thermal equilibrium with a third system, then they're in thermal equilibrium with each other. Now, take a second to really let that sink in. I know, it sounds a bit like a dense logic puzzle or some heavy academic jargon, doesn't it? But this single sentence carries monumental gravity. It is the absolute bedrock of how we understand heat and temperature in the physical universe. Without this rule, the entire concept of measuring temperature would just fall apart completely. To truly grasp its power, and to understand exactly why it solves our whole thermometer mystery, we first need to unpack the physical reality of what that phrase, thermal equilibrium, actually means, when we zoom all the way down to the microscopic level.
Right, so to strip away the scientific jargon and look at the physical mechanics here. Thermal equilibrium simply means that no net heat is flowing between two objects. When you place two things next to each other, you're really just bringing two massive collections of vibrating molecules into close proximity. The hotter object has molecules vibrating super rapidly with high kinetic energy, while the colder object has slower, lower energy molecules. As they interact, they exchange that energy until the molecular kinetic energy between the two objects completely balances out. And when that happens, boom! They have reached a perfect state of equilibrium. There's zero net flow of heat because the microscopic vibrations are fundamentally balanced. And as a result of this balanced kinetic energy, they are at the exact same temperature. There is no hotter object passing heat to a colder one anymore because there is no hotter or colder. They are physically equal.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Here is the pure mathematical magic of the Zeroth Law broken down into a simple transitive property. Step 1. System A reaches thermal equilibrium with System C. Step 2, System B also reaches thermal equilibrium with System C. Step 3, therefore, System A automatically matches System B. If A matches C and B matches C, then A automatically matches B as well. The absolute beauty of this law, the real genius of it, is that System A and System B never actually need to be directly tested against each other. You don't have to bring them into physical contact to know for a fact that their molecular kinetic energies would be perfectly balanced. We can definitively prove their relationship entirely through their mutual connection to that third system.
And this brilliantly illustrates the entire basis for using thermometers. Think of your body as System A and the thermometer as System C. The thermometer sits under your tongue until it reaches thermal equilibrium with your body, meaning the kinetic energy balances out, no more net heat is flowing, and you both are at the exact same temperature. But wait, how does it output a number you can actually read? Well, because during its manufacturing, its internal scale was carefully calibrated against universal known reference temperatures. Let's call those global scientific standards System B. Because the thermometer was proven to match those rigorous global references, and now it completely matches you, it can accurately tell you your temperature without you ever needing to be directly compared to those global standards yourself. The thermometer acts as the absolute perfect, trusted proxy.
To really ground this theoretical math in reality, just picture two separate cups of water sitting on a table. You place a thermometer in cup 1, wait for the molecular kinetic energy to balance and reach thermal equilibrium, and you note that it reads 70 degrees. Then you take that exact same thermometer, place it in cup 2, wait for equilibrium again, and it also reads 70 degrees. The result here is profoundly simple, yet incredibly powerful. Cup 1 and cup 2 are fundamentally in thermal equilibrium with each other. If you were to mix them together, no net heat would transfer between the water molecules. They are at the exact same temperature, even though those two specific cups of water were literally never in direct physical contact. This is proven entirely through the thermometer acting as that vital, common reference, bridging the gap between them.
So, the crucial point is that temperature is a comparable transitive property. That is the core insight you should really carry with you from this explainer. Why does this invisible logic matter so much to the scientific world? Well, because without it, we simply couldn't measure anything reliably across different laboratories or countries or even planets. Recognizing that temperature is transitive gives us the definitive ability to standardize measurements across the entire globe. It proves that temperature isn't just some isolated subjective feeling of hot or cold, it's a universal, comparable property. It's the very thing that allows engineers to build complex machinery, chemists to execute precise reactions, and physicists to understand the universe in a highly structured, mathematically sound way. Now that we've firmly established how temperature comparison works and laid the ultimate groundwork with the Zeroth Law, it opens up an even bigger, arguably more fascinating mystery. With temperature comparison established, how does energy itself actually move and transform? Knowing that things inevitably reach thermal equilibrium is one thing, but how precisely does the heat travel through space to get there? What are the actual rules governing that movement? The universe isn't static, right? It's this dynamic, swirling engine constantly shifting energy from one state to another. That realization brings us right to the doorstep of the first law of thermodynamics, which explores the conservation and transformation of that very energy. But that is a profound journey into physics for another time. Until then, keep looking for the hidden logic in the world around you.